We all need mates. Someone to talk to, have a beer with, share a few secrets. And drug lords are no different. In late 2004, police got a call from a bloke claiming to be best mates with someone he called the Cocaine King of Australia. And he told police he was ready to blow the lid on the entire illegal drug operation. This is a story of deception and betrayal. This is Operation Mocha.
Drug dealing is not an easy job to leave. Generally, there are only two ways to get out of a drug syndicate: be arrested or become an informant. In December 2004, police meet a mystery caller who says he's part of a drug cartel and wants out. Police codename him Tom, and at the meeting, Tom hands police a photo that blows them away.
The photograph depicted Shane Hatfield and Tom standing behind a pile of money. There was about 10.15 million accrued from sales of cocaine.
The photo was taken just 1 month earlier.
He provided this extraordinary detail of these drug operations that he was involved in.
Tom claims the other man in the photo is Shane Hatfield. Hatfield is 37 years old. His mates call him Curly. Shane is a former international surf champion. He's unemployed, but lives in an apartment overlooking Sydney's famous Bondi Beach. And now Tom is telling police Shane has a secret life as the leader of a massive cocaine distribution ring. But is this all a setup? Police want to know why Tom's all of a sudden ready to rat on his trusted mate of 20 years.
He was the one that was hands-on, packaging the cocaine, meeting the customers, selling the cocaine to them. He was taking all the risk for just a fraction of the profit. Hatfield kept pushing him to do more and more business.
And it wore Tom down. He was very overbearing, controlling, and he just couldn't stand looking at him or working for him anymore.
That's what prompted him to provide that information to us.
And with that, it was all on. Tom will act as an informant to help bring down Shane Hatfield, the drug lord. For police, it's a major coup. Tom is already trusted by the syndicate. He has history with these guys. He's already in on the deals.
Tom's personality was that he was very confident, he's very smart, he's very clever and cunning. He had, what I'd say, the skill and experience of a seasoned undercover operative.
Tom has crossed the line. He's working for the police instead of hiding from them. He will give detectives the dirt on his mate.
We put propositions to Tom, which he agreed to, and then it progressively worked up to the point where he was wearing the wire.
Yeah, I can only imagine being kitted up it was highly stressful for him.
There's no doubt at all that what Tom was doing was very dangerous. It was a very high-risk situation.
He was attacking the upper end of the drug supply, so these people had a lot to lose.
It's February 2005, and this is some of the first surveillance police have on Shane Hatfield.
How are you? I'm well.
That's Hatfield in the middle. That bloke on the left is one of Hatfield's biggest cocaine buyers, Gilbert Gedeon. And Tom the informant is on the right. They hear Shane agree to sell a massive 2 kilos of cocaine to Gedeon for $340,000.
You've always told we're going to go. Exactly. I just don't want you missing out like that. All right, well, leave it at 2. Okay.
That's 2 kilograms of cocaine. Next, the trio set up how the deal will go down.
So just tell me a time and a place.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Next to the office first?
Next to the office, yeah. The gymnasium around the corner there, so we can do a pull into the gym and stop them down. As soon as we're down around the spot, and then like 40 hours, as soon as I finish a few people.
No, it's put it all done.
The deal is done. It's a walk in the park.
How's the other half?
What about yours?
Now Tom needs to retrieve the cocaine, and he takes police to a national park.
Yeah, we're just going to grab the shovel.
Okay, no worries.
The cocaine buried here is from a previous importation.
He had points in the bush that he would align, and the cocaine was in the exact position that he thought it was.
In the first hole, 1 bag of high-grade cocaine. That bag alone is worth more than $1 million. In a second hole, 2 bags. And in the third, 2 plastic containers full of coke. In total, 7 kilograms with a street value of almost $2.5 million.
We had this dilemma that there was 7 kilos of cocaine there that had to be sold, and if we didn't allow that to be sold under controlled circumstances, then the likelihood would be that we'd just get a brief of evidence against Shane Hatfield and possibly the first person to purchase some of that cocaine.
Police will store the cocaine safely and allow it to be gradually released. It's a risky move for police. They can't just let a little bit of the cocaine be sold. They have to allow all 7 kilos to be offloaded. It's the only way they can arrest every player without raising suspicion.
We just wanted to more or less negate the whole syndicate.
Permission was allowed for him to supply several kilos of that cocaine the following day.
It's about 4 grams short, that one.
Tom is Shane Hatfield's delivery boy. He will get the cocaine to the buyer and get the cash back to Shane.
When purchasers buy that cocaine, it's in the block form. They think it's more of a pure form.
Time is now 10:53. Both of those kilos have been prepared.
The very next day, Tom is ready to sell the cocaine to the big buyer, Gilbert Gedeon. Gedeon arrives at the agreed location to meet Tom. Meanwhile, detectives are in position. This is actual police footage. That's Gedeon, the drug buyer, getting into Tom's car. Tom's wearing a wire.
How you doing? I just got it in 2 shoeboxes. How much you got? 3.
That is $300,000 for 2 1-kilogram blocks of cocaine. The deal is done, and now Tom has to get the money to his boss, Shane Hatfield.
Have a good day.
Police follow the money trail. The bag with $300,000 worth of dirty drug money in it is passed from Tom to Shane. But there's no rest for the wicked. Another drug order is placed. Tom has to sell more cocaine, and this time he'll do it with an associate called Robert Paven. Robert is a broker. He sources the buyer and in return receives a $10,000 commission.
What Tom told us was that Bob would never talk, or if he did talk, he would whisper. We put the proposition to Tom to film the transaction. He was very apprehensive about it, but again, he was fearless. He agreed to go and do it.
Police have handed Tom a camera and he will secretly film Robert Paven taking part in the drug deal.
I suppose quite stressed. He did have a lot of respect for Paven as a person, and down deep probably felt bad for the activities that he was doing.
In the garage, Tom hands over the cocaine. Tom and Robert Paven then hop in Tom's car. They go to give the cocaine to Paven's buyer. Then Tom and Robert Paven return to Paven's house to divvy up the cash from the deal. Paven is extremely wary of any listening devices. Robert Paven, as paranoid as he is unaware he's being filmed by Tom right at this moment. The business is all done, and now Tom has got police explosive new evidence on yet another syndicate member.
It was a highlight for us during the investigation because this was the first time we were captured the whole transaction.
The reality of life as an informant has finally hit him. Tom runs like hell. Police are in the middle of an investigation into a massive drug cartel. They're allowing their informant, Tom, to sell 7 kilograms of cocaine. It's the only way police can catch players at every level of the syndicate. He sold cocaine to a man called Robert Paven
Have a good day.
and a man called Gilbert Gedeon. And now Gedeon is back for more coke. He's meeting Tom in his car. That rustle is the sound of a drug deal. 750 grams of cocaine. And the cash from all these drug sales is going straight back to Shane Hatfield. The money trail ends with him. There's no doubt he's getting rich from it, all right. This is police footage from a meeting between Hatfield and Tom.
On board. I'm fucking bored shit.
2 old mates chewing the fat. If only Shane knew his friend of 20 years was wearing a listening device.
You know, on everything that I've got, I'll have 12 million in 5 years' time.
We'd identified over $5 million that he'd made from selling this cocaine.
He's so paranoid it will be found by police or stolen that he's buried it. in the backyards of his relatives. This is night vision. Shane asking Tom for advice.
You know what? Fuck, it was water. I'm here, all in the box. It was flooded. The big tub I had it in was flooded and everything.
It was a massive stress for Shane. He used to dream at night about worms and grubs eating his money.
But I double sealed it. I had enough, no water, no ice.
I used a roll of Glad wrap.
And I still got through that.
Yeah, apparently Glad wrap's no good.
No good.
It gives police an opportunity.
So as we came up with an idea to provide Tom to tell Shane that he had an avenue of getting money out of Australia to go into a Swiss bank account that returned a very good interest rate.
So Tom sets up another meeting and sells Shane the idea of a Swiss bank account.
Amazing place. It is against the law for them to tell anyone anything. They cannot even communicate between branches.
Right, so you know what you're doing.
It's 5.3 to 5.4%. The biggest thing is tax-free. You don't pay tax on it.
You mean do it for it? Send it to you and I'll get over there and I'll let you know.
Yes. No worries. It's beautiful. And smokeless houses.
So Hatfield took the bait. He was quite greedy. You could see that he wanted some interest earned from this money.
Tom goes around to pick up the cash that Shane's dug up. And there it is. Shane's beloved money given to Tom.
I'm just about to take possession of 2 garbage bags, which I believe to contain Australian currency.
And an hour later, Tom hands the car and the cash to police.
We've just counted this money, satisfied ourselves with $700,000 here.
Over 8 weeks, Tom receives several lots of cash. In total, $1.9 million from Shane Hatfield. And not once does Shane suspect his mate.
I'm going in this factory to have you to be a beneficiary of X amount of dollars, you know what I mean?
We got away with a lot in this scenario and this situation because of the high trust level that these criminals had with Tom.
I want you to be comfortable and not stressing. I'm not stressing.
I'm comfortable with that. Listen, it's something that, you know what, I think the money's really going to be right anyways. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have dropped that, I'd be devastated, you know? It's not going to be in the forefront of my mind to tell you the truth. I don't know, you know. I just can't wait for decide, you know, we're going to do whatever we're going to do. I've got this little plan in mind if we deal with 2 deals next week. We'll definitely know.
A retirement plan, the perfect end to a criminal bromance. Even now, Shane has no idea of the deception. In fact, police are about to get a bombshell. Just what they've been waiting for. Shane Hatfield, along with known underworld identities Les Mara and Mick Hurley, are planning to import $10 million worth of cocaine in the coming months. Les Mara is 52, a former rugby league star. Hurley is a notorious underworld figure and serial drug crook. And each member of this syndicate has a defined role.
Hatfield had the contacts in South America to source the cocaine and also to bring the walkers back or the couriers back with the cocaine. Mara and Hurley had some contacts as baggage handlers at Sydney Airport, and they were importing cocaine from South America.
This is a syndicate meeting where Shane Hatfield briefs the couriers on what to say if it all goes pear-shaped in South America.
The unforeseen happens, like from some mistake, somewhere along the line, the thing that get, saying nothing will get there. So you're talking about
But for now, there are bigger problems. Tom has just been called to an urgent syndicate meeting. In the middle is the drug lord, Shane Hatfield. On either side are Les Mara and Mick Hurley. And on the far right is the informant, Tom. Mara delivers the shocking news. There's an informant in the syndicate.
This informant saying that we've involved ourselves in a conspiracy to import some shit onto the waterfront, but it's not us.
Right.
But he's informant, he's putting us into it.
Tom goes out on a limb, hoping Mara is not onto him.
Who do you think the informant is?
It's a gutsy question. Tom knows he's the one the syndicate are talking about. But do they know that he is the traitor?
Who do you think the informant is?
A police informant, codenamed Tom, has been called to an urgent meeting of the drug syndicate he is part of. There is talk of a leak. and Tom has boldly asked if the other members know who the informant could be.
Who do you think the informant is?
See, this big fat knew us from years ago, but we thought we didn't like it. And I've never done anything with him, I never would do anything with him.
Luckily for detectives, the gang don't suspect Tom, and Hatfield goes on to tell Tom even more details of that massive importation and the new plan. They've decided to up the amount.
5
That's 5 20-kilogram bags of cocaine, 100 kilos of the drug to come in over 6 months. That's about $34 million worth of deals on the street. With the talk of the leak, it's just too risky for police to meet Tom out in the open. So they begin to hook up with him in underground car parks and in hotels.
Person known to me as Tom. Tom, this is the 1 kilo of drug to be delivered as per the plan.
Yes.
They must keep Tom safe. He's their insider, and the syndicate is becoming super cautious.
During the course of the investigation, we had a listening device installed in Hatfield's apartment at Bondi. It was about the 26th of April. Hatfield's partner discovered the listening device. She was cleaning the unit and has discovered this listening device. So that obviously caused a crisis within the camp.
Shane Hatfield, also known as Curly, Tom, Les Mara and Mick Hurley hold crisis talks. After the meeting, Tom debriefs with police, telling detectives what was said at that private syndicate meeting.
Curly wasted no time, got straight into it and told them that he found a listening device and they weren't fazed by it initially. So we were all in the car to go and see this airport guy. Mick by this stage was quite negative on it, saying, you know, he loves to gamble, but it wasn't too enthused to roll the dice with his life.
Les Mara and Mick Hurley are now convinced that Tom is the leak. And they're so paranoid that police are onto him, they call off the 20-kilogram cocaine importation. Then they decide to tell Hatfield their fears. So now it's up to the boss to confront his best mate and put it out there. Has he done him over? Shane calls Tom to a meeting.
This is the actual audio from the wire Tom is wearing right now.
Hey, Doc. What's happening?
You got a car?
I have. I'm really often. Tell me. Where are we going?
It sounds like Tom is being driven to his own execution. Instead, Shane Hatfield takes Tom to a swimming pool. Shane Hatfield is out of the car. Tom has a split second to send a message to police.
I feel very uncomfortable.
Shane and Tom go through the gates.
Do you sell cow or firearm?
It is now all dawning on Tom. Hatfield expects him to strip to go for a swim to make sure he's not wearing a wire, but he is.
Sell speedos, 9 to 2 cow.
Tom must try to ditch the wire.
Sell speedos, 9 to 2 cow.
A showdown is about to take place. Shane Hatfield, a drug lord, wants the informant Tom to strip to go for a swim to prove he is not wearing a wire. But he is. So while Shane pays for the speedos, Tom has just seconds to ditch the wire without being seen. He rips the wire from his body and buries it in his pocket. Shane doesn't notice a thing.
Tom just kept his cool, he was calm. He was actually quite fearless. He's just gone through the motions and said, no, look, I'm not a source.
The pair swim and chat. Hatfield's mind is at ease. The wire, still buried in Tom's pocket, keeps recording. This is the actual conversation that took place.
No, I'm happy.
I was so hurt, I'm thinking, this can't be happening. It can't be true. It's not possible. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. This is the heaviest of them all. Heavy.
The showdown between Hatfield and Tom here at the pool was just too close a call for police. Tom sold the 7 kilograms of cocaine he dug up, and detectives know that the huge importation that they heard the syndicate talk about is not going to go ahead.
So 4 days later, 4 months after Tom first contacted police, 18 people are about to be arrested.
Time's now 15:55 on the 9th of May.
Les Mara's house is bare. No surprise. The minute he worked out Tom was the informant, he took off. For the next 18 months, Mara will be on the run. Mick Hurley's place was also empty. The underworld figure has fled, leaving behind no trace of his career of crime. Broker Robert Pavin is taken by surprise.
Mr. Pavin's just arrived home. At the moment, he's under arrest for supply of prohibited drug.
The money was located by Constable Smith.
A search of his place reveals piles of cash, 160 grand. Arrest after arrest. 17 down, the big one to go. Ringleader and mastermind, Shane Hatfield. He knew they were coming and even writes a note begging police to not break down the door, to simply knock.
There's no one in there, Shane? Definitely?
The rest of Hatfield was very calm, probably the previous fortnight. He was highly stressed about something bad was going to happen to him. He just didn't know where or when and who, and he really struggled with the idea that could Tom be the person that might have given him up.
And it's all too much for Shane Hatfield, and he starts hyperventilating.
Just take him in nice and deep breaths, okay? Just get breathing nice and deep.
You got a lot on your mind, champ.
All right, I should leave him on.
At exactly the same time, across town, police are raiding Shane's dad's house.
Camera. Got a find here, boys.
Good boys.
It's more of Shane's buried loot, and just check it out. $1.2 million in cold hard cash, and it's all drug money. Tom the informant's betrayal of his mate is now complete. Police have their drug lord, one of the biggest Australia has ever seen. Les Mara pleaded guilty to importing and conspiracy to import and was sentenced to 20 years jail. Mick Hurley was arrested 9 months later. He died under prison guard just a month before his trial. Robert Pavin was sentenced to 12 years jail. Gilbert Gedeon was sentenced to 20 years jail. Shane Hatfield was sentenced to 24 years jail for his drug crimes. He has since been diagnosed as a paranoid schizophrenic.
That's a good shot, isn't it? Show the grandkids.
Yeah. Can you tell us, mate?
Oh, you're in bad light. Oh, no, you can't tell.
You can tell that from me, can't you?
Tom will now live with protection for the rest of his life.
It's an unlikely setting for an investigation into a Bikey. But in this wealthy Sydney suburb is a man police suspect of selling a deadly drug. And he's no saint. He's been convicted of manslaughter. He's done time in one of New Zealand's toughest prisons. He's been deported several times, but he just keeps coming back. And now he's under police surveillance. The target is Shane Oyen.
It's 2001, and a new illegal drug is emerging on the Australian market. It's methamphetamine, known as ice.
It is the new scourge. I am concerned that we risk losing a whole generation.
It's highly addictive with deadly consequences. It's killing about 100 people a year, and police suspect this man, Shane Oyen, is getting rich from it.
He was a proud member of the Bandidos. He was only a nominee. But in saying that, he had access to and commonly associated with high-ranking members of the Bandidos outlaw motorcycle gang.
Even police who have seen plenty of crims know he's not to be messed with.
Well, I'm telling you, Lisa, they don't come much more dangerous than that.
So being a bikie and a convicted killer, you'd think Shane lives rough. Oh no, Shane lives the high life. He's a harbour hugger, and he's set up in a waterfront property in Elizabeth Bay in Sydney. Fair to say it's not your usual Bandidos hangout. Drive-bys here are to check out how many million the place next door went for. One of his neighbours regularly makes it onto the list of Australia's richest men. Shane loves to travel, coming in and out of the country and the state using false names.
It was nothing for Shane to wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning, book an air flight and board a plane at 12 midday 2 hours later and fly down to Victoria for a couple of days. It's just the kind of bloke he was. There was just, nothing was a hurdle, nothing was an issue. He just did whatever he wanted.
And police suspect his jet-setting lifestyle, the ability to take off whenever he pleases, and the place where he lives is being paid for with drug money. See, Shane doesn't have a job. Well, not a legal one anyway. This is police surveillance footage. Shane, the suspected drug lord, is in the white shirt. Police have been watching Shane as he travels, but he plays it safe in the open. So police need to get inside Shane's apartment. They get a warrant and are able to get into Shane's house when he's not there. The footage you are seeing is real. Police are now inside Shane's apartment, and they have to be quick. They have no idea when he might return. Police head straight for the kitchen, an unlikely spot, but these seasoned officers know exactly what they're looking for. They've come prepared with tools to take a sample of drugs if they find anything. They go to the freezer. Inside is a suspicious package. It may look small, but that find in the freezer could be massive.
Can I get a yellow powder?
That yellow powder could be what they came for, the methylamphetamine, known as ice. And this is one of the first investigations ever done in New South Wales into those who are selling it.
Get a better view of it. Take the lid off and I get a better view of it now.
Now, it doesn't look like much, but if that is ice, on the street, Shane could sell that tiny tub for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Police take enough of a sample to work out what drug it is and how strong it is, but not enough that Shane would notice. They have to be quick and put everything back exactly as it was. Then, police are out of there. The tests on these samples confirm there is methylamphetamine, high-grade ice in Shane Oyen's freezer. But now police need to know how it got there and exactly how deep is Shane's involvement in drugs. Detectives watch Shane Oyen as he comes and goes from his luxury apartment, but there's only one way to know what goes on inside.
The next part of the investigation was to monitor what happened in his home.
Police install cameras and microphones they'll be watching non-stop. It's Shane's criminal behaviour police are focusing on, and it takes less than a day to get it. Shane checks on his drug load, the ice. He will sell that ice, and police will be watching. Not only are they targeting Shane, they are now targeting anyone who buys, sells, or makes drugs for him. 24 hours later, Shane has a mate over for coffee. Their cameras are still rolling, and police hear them chatting. No idle gossip here. This is a breakthrough. Police are about to get evidence that Shane is a bigger player than even they thought. He really is the Iceman. You are watching the inside of a drug dealer's apartment. He's a bikie, but this isn't in some dodgy part of town. This apartment is in one of Sydney's most affluent suburbs. And police are about to hear Shane Oyen talking about ingredients to make the deadly drug ice.
Can you get the hyperphosphorus? Which one? Hyperphosphorus. Man, I know we are. So you're already on that level where you're actually getting raw materials, raw basic compounds, and where I'm still just a level away from that. But I am in that circle where I can get access to it if I actually look. I know what I mean.
Hypophosphorus, when mixed with other chemicals, turns simple cold and flu tablets into the lethal drug ice. And Shane wants huge quantities. The amount he's asked for could make almost $1 million worth.
So what's wrong? Hyperphosphorus. Hyperphosphorus. Yeah. It comes in 44 gallon drum. So we'd be quite happy to buy some 10, 20 litres of ice, right? Save a lot of
He had aspirations to move up in the criminal world and to make a name for himself. That was Shane.
Police have had the cameras in Shane's home for 9 days now, and they're about to get another piece of evidence. Shane is in the kitchen with something in his hand. He takes it to the freezer. Could this be a new batch of methamphetamine, ice? Police need to know. They need to get into his house again to see what's in the freezer, and if it's drugs, to test it. Police have to be careful. They know this is a crim who's been around the block. And if he gets any whiff of a police investigation, he won't be caught.
It'd be nothing for him to drive down dark alleys, seeing who followed him. He'd drive around a roundabout, do 2 or 3 laps of a roundabout to see. Everyone's got to keep driving past.
The only place he truly feels safe is his home, and he has no idea police are there too. And the very next day, with another warrant, police are about to get into his apartment again. The cameras indicate no one is home. They ring the doorbell just to be safe. No answer. Then, all of a sudden, someone is actually home. The police have to think quick. The wrong answer could blow it.
Hello, Linda?
No, wrong place.
Is that you, Linda?
Wrong place.
Sorry, I must have the wrong unit.
Detectives have to call off the search, but Shane's girlfriend seems to be suspicious. The next day, she tells Shane what happened.
Hello, Shane. I'm okay, how are you? Someone kept buzzing me yesterday, and they were here really early, and I got up once, and I just waited to see how many times they buzzed. So I picked it up, and I didn't say anything. They said, Linda. They were asking for Linda, so I just hung it up. Went back to bed, and they buzzed again, so I said, sorry, you've got the wrong number, there's no Linda here, bye.
Ironically, police are even watching the phone call. Police just have to wait. They still have to go in to check what could be in the freezer. It's not long before Shane's girlfriend leaves. Now she's out of the way, police strike. They have to be quick though. They have no idea when she'll return. Fast, but precise. They grab both containers from the freezer.
That's the first container.
Taking a sample from the new batch.
Take a sample from the lid.
It's nerve-wracking. They have to be long enough to get what they need, but quick enough to be out of there before anyone comes home. And then they're out, gone, with their sample.
It's another one of those tough calls for police. If they arrest Shane now, they'll never know where he's getting the drugs from or where they're headed. Well, they're about to get a lead. 2 days after they secretly entered his apartment, a mysterious visitor, someone police haven't seen before, turns up on their cameras.
She's quite at home. She knows where the cling wrap is. Detectives are watching as she grabs the batch of ice the police tested from the freezer. It seems like she's taking the ice with her. But to where? Is she an ex-girlfriend ripping him off? Is she a buyer? Is she a courier delivering the drugs from Shane to someone else? This woman has no idea police are watching her right now. She's in a suspected drug dealer's apartment and has just helped herself to his load of methamphetamine, ice, in the freezer. But police have no idea how she fits in, whether she's robbing Shane Hatfield, the target, or if she's a courier or a buyer. And if they pounce on her as she leaves, Shane could easily find out. Police tailed her, following her through the streets and to Central Station, and they watch as she jumps on a train to Victoria.
As that train arrived in Victoria, she was stopped and searched, and located on her, again, was near 2 pounds of amphetamine that Shane had again arranged to be transported to Victoria for supply.
The news of the arrest gets to Shane the very next day.
We needed the drug. We needed the drug and we needed the lab.
And that's why police can't arrest Shane just yet. Sure, they're closing in on him. They know the drug courier was at his house. They know he's selling illegal substances, but they need to know where the lab is, where it's being made. They decide to focus on the places Shane visits regularly, and some of those are normal-looking properties in Sydney's western suburbs. This is police footage and audio.
Heads up, guys, I've got the Musso in the driveway. Shane's here, red T-shirt.
His bandito mates who he was hanging with, we knew who they were. We'd monitored Shane meeting them, we knew who they were. We knew they knew how to cook drugs. They had prior convictions for cooking drugs. And it was obvious that this team together had got together for one idea, that was to cook drugs and to make money. That's what they wanted to do, and that's what they were about.
Cooking drugs. That's the term for making these methamphetamines, this ice. They're made up of 4 different ingredients, and they can vary depending on what the drug maker can get his hands on. And it's dangerous. Any excess heat, and it could explode. So the police need to know if the cook, the drug making, is going on inside the house. And the only way to know that is another hidden camera, of course.
It doesn't take long for police to work it out. They've hit the jackpot.
And then, you know, 3 weeks before the party.
This is where the drug ice in Shane's freezer is being made. They see scales, they see gloves, they see a drug lab. And police are about to get a bonus. The man wandering around without his shirt on? Well, he's about to take a batch of the methamphetamine ice back to Shane's place to refine even more. And the police cameras are waiting for him there too. That real footage is the final coup for police. Watching this drug lord's den has paid off. And now it's time to arrest Shane and his associates.
About 5:30 a.m, we had a substantial briefing with a large number of police, as we were planning on issuing a large number of search warrants. Shane was a big man. One thing we had in our mind was, if he wants to fight, it's going to take a lot of people, a lot of us to stop him. He was a big, big boy.
Detectives are about to arrest a Bikey for supplying methamphetamine, known as ice. They are striking first thing in the morning, trying to catch him off guard.
Police! 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 Keep it down! Get it down! Hold it down! Hold it! Hold him down!
The look on Shane's face was priceless. This was the last thing he was expecting. He thought he was safe in that unit. And there we were in his bedroom with him and his girlfriend.
This is the real footage of Shane Oyen, the drug lord, handcuffed, arrested.
Could you state your full name and date of birth for the video, please, Shane?
My real name? James Wilson.
James Wilson.
Multiple names, multiple identities. His real name police didn't even know till now. And he's not the only prisoner.
You understand that? Yeah.
Shane's mate Simon, who brought the meth over, decided to stay the night.
Last night. What time did you get here last night?
So he's there when police do the raid. He rents the house with the lab. So they'll take him down too. And what's in that overnight bag? Tools that could be used to make drugs.
A spatula, set of scales.
Police recognise those scales from yesterday's cook at the lab.
Shane, do you wish to say anything at all about the contents of this bag?
Nothing.
Okay. Caesar?
Items in the freezer.
This time, police find containers of methamphetamine in the freezer. That is worth $680,000. That contains almost 7,000 individual street deals. That's how strong this drug is. They also find cash from previous deals.
Behind the T-shirts, also on that third drawer, is some money. And before we start counting this, do you know how much is there?
No. Oh, yeah. Yes, I do.
How much is that?
22.
22. And what are these bundled into fives, are they? 12, 13, 14. So we have $26,800. Do you agree with that, Shane?
Correct.
He still has no idea that police found out about his dealings from a tiny camera inside his own home.
We formed the opinion that we should aim at the top of the pyramid and take everyone down below him. Shane, he was the man that everyone wanted to know. He was the man that had to go, and if we got him, we knew all his mates would come down with him as well.
You open up. Yeah, Corey, is it?
At the same time, police take down the other men they saw cooking up the drugs.
You just want to come downstairs. We've got a search warrant to search the house.
And yes, there's even more evidence. A recipe for the deadly drug.
Different references to glass, weights, indicating some sort of chemical process.
And yet more of the killer cocktail.
Right. There's two clear plastic sealed containers.
Corey, the detective here's found these two containers in the freezer compartment. Can you tell me what they are? No. Sorry? No. You don't know? Is that yours? No. You haven't seen it before? Okay.
Those tiny tubs have a street value of more than $200,000.
I was 0716 hours.
The lab is searched too, test after test, and they all turn up positive for methamphetamine.
It's also come up alarms for methamphetamine, so quite a high reading, so yeah.
It's all proof of the crimes that were going on. The Courier Court in Victoria with the methamphetamine from Shane's apartment pleaded guilty to trafficking a drug of dependence and was sentenced to 12 months jail, suspended for 2 years. Shane's associates, Corey Thompson and Simon Benefield, were sentenced to 4 years for conspiracy to manufacture a large commercial quantity of a prohibited drug. Shane's girlfriend pleaded guilty to concealing a serious offence and received an 18-month sentence. The main man, Shane Oyen, also known as Mark Wilcox and James Wilson, was charged with supplying and possessing not less than a commercial quantity of a prohibited drug. He was sentenced to 12 years jail.
In all the prisons across New South Wales, there are about 40 inmates whose crimes are so shocking that their files are marked never to be released. Tonight's drug lord is one of those men. He organised the murder of a mild-mannered accountant, a family man. It took police over a year to work out how a massive drug bust and a homicide were directly linked to one man. And that man's name is Yongki Tan.
Yongki Tan came to Australia from Indonesia in 1985. He was only 20. By the time he was 37, he owned an Indonesian restaurant in Kingsford in Sydney's east. It's March 2002, and a member of the public notices the owner of the restaurant, Yongki Tan, and another man doing a drug deal. He sees Yongki Tan giving the man pills. The witness decides to go to the local police. It could all be a hoax, but police have to follow up on the lead. Detectives pull over the man Yongki Tan was seen talking to. His name is Marcel Thay. Detectives now search Marcel's car, and it doesn't take them long to find evidence.
Marcel appeared to be extremely nervous and kept sort of eyeing a small bum bag which was sitting on the back seat. That bum bag on the back seat was a kilo of ecstasy.
The 1 kilogram of ecstasy on the street would be worth $120,000. Marcel Thay is taken into custody. Police now suspect he's dealing drugs. But how big a player is he? And is there a bigger stash at his home? Detectives are at Marcel Thay's home. Marcel's house is a mess. The police can't afford to miss anything. It doesn't take long before detectives get their first find.
White powder, the coffee table.
That powder is ecstasy pills that have been crushed. But as far as drug investigations go, it's hardly a jackpot. Police trust the tip-off and keep searching.
Small set of scales, gram, black in colour.
Within half an hour, another drug find.
One large glad bag containing a smaller glad bag with a multicoloured green, pinkish white powder substance.
It's more ecstasy pills that have been ground down, but this time it's much bigger. That plastic bag would sell for $60,000 on the street. Police are onto something. This is the home of a drug dealer, and who knows what they'll uncover next.
We found documentation, passports.
8:50 p.m. Bedroom 1, a cupboard, large amount of cash.
We found what we call a tick book, which is an indication of amounts of drugs that have been sold to people and for how much, and money that was owing to this particular network for the sale of drugs.
Appears to be a number of entries here, possibly concerning some type of transaction or documentation.
Now police know Marcel is not a small player, but could there be more drugs to find in this house? There's one last place to look, under the stairs. Police pull out box after box.
8:27 p.m.
Then
a large brown box.
That's what they wanted to see. That is a massive stash of ecstasy. Kilo
2
after kilo
3 4
after kilo.
As you can see, it contains 2 large glad resealable bags containing numerous green tablets. They've got a score mark on them and marked MTV on site.
They found a number of green and pink pills, which at the end of the day came to 26 kilos. We estimated it was about $4 or $5 million, which had to hurt the local industry. It was a lot of tablets, a lot of hits.
$4 million worth of drugs from one random tip-off.
We were stoked.
Detectives take the drug haul back to the police station and weigh it right in front of Marcel Thay.
Okay, Marcel, do you agree with me that on the reading on the scales at the moment is 4,863.8 grams?
Yep.
The more weight that went on the scales, the more trouble he realised that he was in.
In total, 26 kilograms of ecstasy, and for Marcel, that could mean life behind bars. Police now go after the restaurant owner, Yonki Tan. Police pull over Yonki Tan in his car. From the information they received, police have cause to search the vehicle and are in for a massive surprise.
Police at the time opened up the boot, found the suitcase, opened the suitcase and found an extremely large amount of loose cash, mainly 50s, 20s, $100 notes, just thrown into this large suitcase.
Police confiscate Yonki Tan's car. Others have the task of counting the loose cash found in the boot. It seems never-ending. Bundle after bundle, and they just keep coming.
Grand total of $165,300.
$165,000 just lying around in the boot of Yonki Tan's car.
Yonki needed to prove why was he in possession of $165,300. How could he justify carrying that much cash around with him?
It's certainly not normal, and police decide they must search Yonki Tan's home as well.
We have a search warrant to search these premises.
This is the actual police footage of the search of Yonki Tan's house. And it doesn't take them long to find, yeah, even more cash.
There's 1, 2, 3, all right.
Next, police confiscate Yonki Tan's computer. Somewhere on this hard drive could be the breakthrough police are looking for. They want to find something to tie Yonki Tan to the 26 kilograms of ecstasy found earlier under the stairs at Marcel's. Police go from room to room.
For the record, 4 passports.
On his bedside table, we located a document called the agreement.
And look whose name is on the lease. Marcel Thay, the man police arrested, the man who had 26 kilograms of ecstasy under the stairs in his house.
Marcel had allegedly entered an agreement with Yonki to lease the garage of Yonki Tan.
The document links Yonki Tan and Marcel, but it's in such an obvious place, police wonder if it's genuine. Is Marcel really renting Yonki's garage, or is there something in the garage Yonki doesn't want police to know is his? And what's in the garage? There's only one way for police to find out.
We opened up the garage, we went in, we had a look, and we identified what looked like a cleaned up drug lab. There were a number of items in there, like bowls, air filters, chemical cooking solutions that had residue on it that was also pink and green, the same pink and green of the tablets that we found at Marcel's place.
Could this be where the 26 kilograms of ecstasy in Marcel's house was made? Police are faced with many questions. Is what's in the garage really Marcel's, or is Yonki Tan setting him up? Police have no proof that Yonki is involved in drugs. All they have on him is the money in the car, and that could be legitimate.
I was reasonably certain that Yonki was a major player in this network. Unfortunately, I was just short of proof.
But this case is about to take a massive twist. For police, it's about to go from a drug investigation to a murder case. Detectives will have to get to the bottom of a homicide. They will discover money laundering and forged documents, and finally piece together how that all links into the drug lord, Yonki Tan. It's been a busy 24 hours for police. They've arrested a man, Marcel Thay, and found 26 kilograms of ecstasy under the stairs in his house. They've arrested another man, Yonki Tan, and found more than $160,000 in his car, but nothing that is obviously illegal. Police have to let Yonki Tan go. They need more evidence before they can charge him with any drug offences.
Yongki Tan is about to become embroiled in a murder investigation. He will organise a hit on an innocent man. But the big question is why?
It's now December, 9 months since the search of Yongki Tan's car. A man called Dominic Lai is at home. He lives in Sydney's inner west, in a modest brick home with his wife and teenage son. Dominic Lai is an accountant, a tireless worker, devoted to his family. It's 7:30 in the morning. Dominic Lai's wife answers the knock at the door. A man has a parcel for her husband and needs his signature. Dominic Lai comes to the front door and unlocks the security screen. He's pinned to the ground. Dominic Lai is turned on his back and acid is poured over his face and down his throat.
In all my time of investigation, I've never seen anything quite as brutal as this attack. It's one of the most barbaric crimes I've ever been involved in investigating.
These are the actual police photos taken from the crime scene. Dominic Lai spent 3 weeks in intensive care before dying from respiratory failure. Police are now investigating a murder.
Because of the nature of the attack, just being so horrific and so personal, it sort of led us to believe that, you know, there was a message behind what it was all about. The people who had arranged it wanted to prove a point.
In any murder investigation, police try to piece together the life of the victim. Dominic Lai was a father, an accountant. He didn't smoke, he didn't do drugs. It just didn't add up. Why was he murdered? With no leads, police put out a plea for information, hoping someone will come forward.
It was an horrific murder. 45-year-old Dominic Lai was forced at gunpoint in front of his family to swallow hydrochloric acid during an attack outside his Sydney home. The acid was so strong, it was still eating away concrete at the crime scene when police arrived.
Police get a tip-off. The name of a man who was heard organising an acid attack. Police get the phone records for that suspect and find around the time of the murder, the man accused of planning the attack was phoning 3 men constantly, including this man. His name is Dax Satori. He's been involved with drugs before, and police use that excuse to arrest him.
Whilst we were preparing to interview him in relation to his involvement with the drug charges, he came out with a phrase similar to, "Is this about the drugs? I thought this was about the murder." Everyone sort of stopped cold and went. And Dax, on that day, told us of his involvement in the murder of Dominic Lai.
This is a breakthrough. Dax agrees to give the police information.
He was brought in to drive the getaway vehicle.
This is the actual police interview from when detectives take Dax back to the exact suburb where Dominic Lai was attacked.
Which was the house? Can you show us, do you remember what was being said in the car at the time you first drove past the house?
They said to me that they're just going to scare this guy off.
They're going to scare this guy off?
Yeah. That he said that they were going to pretend that they're going to deliver this parcel to this guy.
What happened then? Yep.
They went out about 5-10 minutes. It's not even 10 minutes.
Describe to me what happened when they arrived and what was said and that sort of thing.
They were restless, and then I asked them, "So what happened?" He goes, "No, just drive." And you could smell like a really strong stuff, chemical stuff, acid.
And
there was a pistol as well.
A what?
A pistol.
At the point when they got back into the car and there's all this heavy breathing and handing pistols over and the smell of acid, what was going through your mind?
I said, what have they done? Like, what is this guy did? I thought they just gonna scare me. How come they got guns?
What did you think had happened?
They did something bad.
Police now have confirmation on what happened the day Dominic Lai was attacked and who was involved. But detectives still have one big question. Why? Why would anyone want Dominic Lai dead? They go back to the family, and detectives interview the dead man's brother-in-law, Philip Ma.
He opened up and gave us a complete picture as to Dominic Lai and his involvement with Yonki Tan.
There's that name again, Yonki Tan, the man with the money in the boot of the car. Police have made a direct link between the dead man and Yonki Tan. The victim, Dominic Lai, was an accountant. Yonki Tan was his client.
Police do interviews with the family. They learn that Yonki wanted his victim, Dominic Lai, to launder his money, to make it legal. But Dominic, the accountant, didn't want a bar of it. Detectives learn that Dominic has put Yonki in touch with his brother-in-law, Philip Ma.
So police discover Yonki Tan, the suspected drug lord, and Philip Ma, the brother-in-law, met up. But Philip Ma had a secret that would lead to Dominic's death. Police are investigating a homicide. Dominic Lai, an accountant, is the victim, and the suspect is one of his clients, Yonki Tan. Police now know that the dead man's brother-in-law had agreed to help Yonki Tan launder money.
Yonki would arrange to meet him, and on each occasion he would turn up with a rice sack which was full of money, predominantly $50 and $100 notes. There was at least 100,000 in the rice sack.
Philip Ma takes the money to a casino. He was supposed to swap the cash for chips, then an hour or so later, cash the chips in for fresh, clean money. Philip Ma, Dominic Lai's brother-in-law, was not supposed to gamble.
The only reason that this failed is because Philip Ma is a hopeless gambler. He is an addict, and instead of just laundering the money, he lost it. Philip Ma lost approximately $516,000 of Yonki Tan's money. We found a IOU document which was written by Yonki Tan, and he forced Philip Ma to sign.
Police now know the IOU, the debt, was all too much for Philip Ma, and he went into hiding. And just look at whose name is the witness on the IOU. Yes, the murder victim, Dominic Lai.
Yonki formed the opinion that Dominic must have had some sort of knowledge, so whatever they did to Dominic was only fair and just in the retrieval of the money. Their reasoning was, if we attack Dominic, this will flush Philip out, and he will know we mean business.
Yonki Tan is now a suspect in a murder investigation, but police still do not have enough evidence to arrest him. Luckily for police, they still have the computer they seized from his house when investigating the drug matters. The 26 kilograms of ecstasy found underneath the stairs. The forensic examination of the computer police found in Yonki's house is now complete.
It showed us that the document that had been conveniently left out for us on Yonki's bedside table, which was dated some 6 months prior to us executing the search warrant, had in fact been created the night before, after Marcel Lee was already in custody.
It's fake. Police discover it was only created after police began their investigations.
Once we had that, we went and spoke to Marcel T and said, when did you sign this document? And Marcel indicated, it's not my signature. I've never seen this document before.
Thereby Marcel could not have signed that document. Thereby the document was fake.
This, of course, basically indicated that Yonki knew it was there and it was his lab. It had nothing to do with Marcel T.
It's proof that the remains of the drug lab in the garage was in fact Yonki's. It's enough for police to now arrest Yonki on suspicion of drug involvement. This is the actual search, filmed by police. And that is Yonki Tan.
Is there anything you wish to declare, any large amount of money?
No, I think.
Is there anything dangerous in here?
No, there is.
Okay, no large amount of money or anything? Got no money?
No.
What Yonki Tan doesn't know is detectives are searching for drugs and also anything that could confirm Yonki was involved in the murder of Dominic Lai.
What about these two keys here? This is all first.
After 4 hours of searching, police have found nothing. Their final hope lies with Yonki Tan's new computer. Could this hold the crucial evidence detectives need? Police believe this man, Yonki Tan, is not only a drug lord, but also the mastermind of the murder of an innocent husband and father, a quiet accountant called Dominic Lai. Police have searched Yonki Tan's house and found nothing, but are hoping somewhere on this new computer there could be evidence. They go through all his emails and find a trail of correspondence.
The emails spelt out the planning that Yonki Tan put in to the attack of Dominic Lai.
This is the actual wording of what police found in emails between Yonki Tan and an associate. Find someone who can threaten D and P, or Dominic and Philip. In another email, all has become clear that P and D cheated on you. What I am saying is that we must do D first so that P will show himself up. In more emails, I really want to see someone do over P and D. With the emails in their possession, police arrest Yonki, then slowly piece together how the drugs, the money, and the murder are linked. Yonki Tan was importing high-grade ecstasy from overseas. That's what was under the stairs at Marcel's. That ecstasy would then be crushed. Then in the garage at the back of Yonki's, they would cut the ecstasy with other ingredients, repress the ecstasy into pills of a lower quality and sell them on the street. Yonki was making so much drug money, he needed to launder it to make it legitimate. So he gave it to Philip Ma, who lost it gambling and then went into hiding. To try to flush Philip Ma out, Yonki Tan organises a hit, the contract kill on his brother-in-law, the accountant Dominic Lai. It took police 16 months to link together all the players, but finally they solved the mystery, and each offender has their day in court. The two men that turned up in the phone records were charged with the murder of Dominic Lai, but a jury determined there was reasonable doubt. They were found not guilty. Dax Sartore, the driver, was sentenced to 12 years jail for his role in the murder. Marcel Thay was charged with supply of a large commercial quantity of ecstasy and received a 4.5-year jail sentence. He has now been deported to Indonesia. Yonki Tan, the mastermind, was sentenced to 25 years jail on multiple drug charges, and for the murder of Dominic Lai, he was sentenced to life without parole, never to be released.